Well, here we go then, the last act of FA Cup fifth round weekend. We know that Leeds United are awaiting the winners, and West Ham and Brentford, an East v West clash across the capital is very close to getting underway. Let's bring you those two lineups one more time. Alphonse Areola is the West Ham goalkeeper, one of 7 changes for the Hammers. A back four of Kyle Walker-Peters, Axel Disasi, Konstantinos Mavropanos and Ollie Scarles. In the middle, Matheus Fernandes, Thomas Souček and Mohamedou Kante, with Adama Traore, Jared Bowen and Pablo playing further forward. Here comes Brentford with Damsgaard into the penalty area, little weaving run, driven for Henderson, who fires it over, and that wasn't too far away either. Well, if we were expecting this to be cagey early on, everybody, and I mean everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean even Jordan Henderson, is shooting.
And he's got to score.
Christopher Ayer and Brentford try again down that left-hand side. Right in front of the West Ham manager, who watches arms folded. Shada's dropped a little deeper now. He's going to try and lift it forward. And he gets it back now from Ouattara and runs at the edge of the box. And Coyote's got forward with a chance. Good save by Areola. That's the first real opening. And Areola anticipated the run from Michael Coyote, which we've talked about all evening long. But the West Ham goalkeeper got out early and made it difficult.
Yeah, fantastic block. Had to stand and wait. It was a less convincing finish from Coyote.
Here's Scarles with the delivery, lifted in towards the near post, headed away by Thiago. Comes out to this near side, and Matheus Fernandes twists onto his left foot, lifts a dangerous ball in, headed down, and bundled over the line by Jared Bowen to put West Ham in front. They didn't deal with the ball back in from Fernandes, and he dropped inside the 6-yard box, and Bowen pounced to put the much-changed Hammers ahead in the FA Cup fifth round. 19 first half minutes played. West Ham 1, Brentford 0.
Our captain fantastic delivers, and it's a proper poacher's goal. Just the movement off the ball, anticipating where it's going to be dropped. It wasn't the greatest of corners, and then Fernandes chops back onto his weaker foot. It's a wonderful ball to the far post, asking the question, and Jared Bowen's just moving off the line, saying, I'm going to gamble, I'm going to go back in. Just a toe poke from him from a yard out. It's tight for the first ball, it's tight for the second ball, but they're both onside. West Ham take the lead.
No, not the West Ham number 33, it's the Brentford number 33. I mean the West Ham number 30. Here's Ouattara again, twisting away from his man. Stands this up into the penalty. Oh, it's deflected into the net! Now, has Thiago got the final touch? The referee's given the goal, and it's 1-1. The ball was sent into the box, and it seemed to drop inside the 6-yard area. I think Thiago might have got the last touch, but the referee is being surrounded by West Ham players.
I think it's that it hits his chest and then down onto his arm, but
yeah, maybe.
I
thought that wasn't handball these days.
Well,
if,
if you are the scorer.
If you're the scorer, yes, you're quite right.
It's accidental, it's factual, and they are down to microscopic lenses.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mess of a goal. Brentford do not care one bit.
Here come West Ham, though, with Adama Traore breaking into the box, and he goes down under a challenge, and the referee is implored to give a penalty, but says no.
After review, there is a candle strip by the blue 20.
Penalty given. Coyote fouls Adama Traore, and West Ham have the chance to go back in front almost immediately after being pegged back to 1-1. The Hammers lead from 12 yards. Kelleher waits, there's a pause here as Bowen steadies himself, and left foot, he drills it into the net, sends Kelleher the wrong way, and West Ham go into a 2-1 lead. Brentford, who played quite well, found themselves back level in this first half, but a foul on Traore and a inch-perfect penalty by Jared Bowen makes it West Ham 2, Brentford 1.
Nice Bowen at the double. After VAR intervenes rightfully to correct the referee Andy Manley, Bowen just slots it home.
In this half of football, what is going to happen next? Ollie Scarles with a corner, left-footed, lifted towards the far post, goes over everybody, head back across goal, and it's going to drop to Disasi, makes a mess of that, and it's scrambled clear. It was headed back across goal by Souček, and dropped to Disassi, who had a view of the goal, but an awful lot of players as well. 4th minute of added time, 2-1 West Ham, free kick to the Hammers, wide on the right, sent in and headed down by Souček, and a real scramble after the goalkeeper saved it, and now it's cleared away. Another opportunity for West Ham to extend their lead. Thomas Souček at full stretch, meeting the header, and Kelleher got down to his left to push it away. It's been a curious match as this drops to Somerville, who races through the middle of the field. He's got bodies around him. Somerville thinks one way then the other, still going. That's deflected and hits the bar on its way over. Corner to Brentford. Somerville presented with the ball in centre field. Brentford have got to make sure they're not rubbed out in this tie at the start of this second half.
Yeah, really good from Somerville, just to drive at the defence, get them backpedaling. Coyote does well in the end to get the block.
Coyote steers it forward for Ouattara, tries to go round Myers, and it just doesn't work from Ouattara's perspective. There's some space here for Bowen, down the right for West Ham, running at the edge of the penalty area. He's got Castellanos in the box. Bowen might go all the way. Good save by Kelleher at his near post. It was very wide, but Jarrod Bowen's already got a couple this evening, so why not? Corner.
Yeah, good block. What a good strike from Jarrod Bowen, driving on the outside.
And it's given away by Magassa, who's just come on. Another big moment in the game that. Here come Brentford. It's been flicked out wide by Ouattara to Lewis Potter, who gives it back to Ouattara down the left edge of the box. He's going to lift it into the penalty area, and Coyote tries to go for it. Was there a push there? Well, it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Brentford. West Ham looked for all the world as though they were going to end it at one end, and they tore down the left. Ouattara got it out wide to the flank. There is a yellow card to be shown here to the West Ham player who made the challenge, but the cross came in. Coyote flung himself at it, was pushed, and the ref's given another penalty. It's be Igor Thiago who's going to take this penalty. Wondered if it would be Matthias Jensen, who scored them recently. But this is a critical moment with 10 minutes to go of the 90. West Ham currently leading, but Brentford with the chance to level it up once again. Areola on his line. Thiago steps back to the edge of the penalty area. Boos ring around the ground. Can Thiago block all this out? Here he goes with the right foot, and he scores! He fainted for a moment, and Areola froze, but Thiago lashes it into the net to level this cup tie with 9 minutes to go. West Ham 2, Brentford 2.
Well, he's barely had a kick all night, and he's managed to come away with 2 goals. Igor Thiago, and he buried that. He knew he was waiting for Alphonse Areola to move. Areola knew that, and from there, just absolutely buries it. One step, puts his laces through it.
Bowen, Magassa, Souček and Somerville with Wilson and Castellanos further forward. Here come West Ham, and here's Wilson running towards the edge of the box, shoots deflected behind. Think it came off Kelleher. It's a good save down to his right, and Callum Wilson very nearly scores with his very first touch.
Yeah, really good save, because it took a deflection on the way through. It's quick feet from him, very good from Castellanos. It's a fantastic save.
Wan-Bissaka takes over corner of the box. Magassa lifts it in, headed away by Collins. Comes out to Disassi just outside the centre circle. Disassi's going to shoot! It's just over the top. Well, that would be a way to win it. That was over 30 yards from goal, and it rocketed just over the top of Kelleher's goal frame, and it's still 2-2, and we've got a minute left.
Oh, the London Stadium, the roof would have come off.
West Ham go first, and it is the captain, Jarrod Bowen. And he scores left-footed right into the top corner. What a great start. West Ham lead 1-0. Igor Thiago then to get Brentford's participation in this penalty shootout underway. He's already scored once from the spot, and he scores again. Again, there's the hesitation, and he drills it into the bottom corner to put them 2-1 up. Here he goes, and he's roofed it. My goodness, that could easily have flown over, but he cracks it into the roof of the net, and West Ham lead the shootout 2-1.
Oh, that is confidence for you.
He's waited a while, and he's still waiting. And here he goes with his left foot, and he sinks it into the arms of Areola. What What a shocking penalty by Dango Ouattara to make it 3-1 and put West Ham in charge. Here he goes, and he rattles it into the roof of the net as well. West Ham lead the shootout 3-1. Keane Lewis Potter. This to close the gap. And he fires it into the corner, and Areola flings himself full stretch but can't keep it out. Souček marches backwards. He's having a big old run up at this. And here he comes, and he fires it into the top corner as well. These West Ham penalties are fiercely struck, and they're getting the job done. Matthias Jensen knows what he has to do. And up he comes, and he blasts it into the net as well. My goodness. If Mavropanos scores, West Ham go through to face Leeds. It all comes down to this. Here he goes, he does score! What a brilliant penalty by Konstantinos Mavropanos! What a brilliant set of penalties by West Ham! They got absolutely all of them, absolutely spot on. 5 out of 5. There's no point in Brentford taking their final penalty because the hammers go through. They've got the fight of their lives at the bottom of the Premier League, but their FA Cup journey continues. 20 years after they reached the final against Liverpool, they booked their place in the last 8 against Leeds. A wonderful match and an exceptional set of 5 penalties. After a 2-2 draw with Brentford, West Ham win the shootout.